Okay.
Men and women. I don't think that there's a woman alive seeing me. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And people always try to say, oh, because you talk about pussy or whatever. You shut the fuck up. I could talk about pussy. I could talk about the moon, the sky, every motherfucking thing under this fucking moon and rap circles around bitches' heads. I don't give a fuck. And rapping fast don't mean you can rap. So shut the fuck up. And looking ugly or looking like a man don't mean you can rap. So sit down. Next.
All right.
Many conversations around women in rap and hip hop culture center around shaming women who rap with sexually explicit lyrics. It's created an ideological divide in hip hop culture. Women are seen as falling into one of two categories. Either they are a lyrical rapper or they're what's known as a pussy rapper. So what's the reason for this split in thinking amongst hip hop fans? How much of it has to do with misogyny? And what are the different ways that women in hip hop culture have responded to the pressure? My name is Blessing Makosha and I'll be your host for this video. Make sure that you follow no_ghostwriter on Twitter and Instagram and no ghostwriter on TikTok. We're posting daily content about international female rap and hip hop. And make sure that you sign up to our mailing list because we're going to be giving you all the information about our new No Ghostwriter Radio, which is going to be a 24-hour female rap radio stream, and our weekly No Ghostwriter Radio live show where we're going to do a mix of the hottest female hip hop in the world. So make sure you check that out, join our mailing list and don't miss it. And if you'd like more content, including early access to all of our videos like this one and ad-free access to all of our content, then make sure you check out our No Ghostwriter Patreon. Everyone that pledges not only helps us to continue creating content, but also gets an exclusive behind the scenes look at our work and gets to see extra content that no one else gets to see. So on that note, let's get back into the video and let's investigate whether hip hop can take sexual female rap seriously or not. So because this is Hip Hop Uncovered, we take a look at topics in rap and hip hop culture that aren't discussed in enough depth or need to be discussed from a perspective free from misogyny, clout chasing, and focused on the skill of writing and rapping bars. So that's exactly why this conversation was perfect for this episode of Hip Hop Uncovered. So I wanted to reference our recent video that we posted on the channel on whether or not men are going to control women in hip hop forever. Now, I was prompted to talk about this video and to make this topic after I read Clover Hope's book, The Motherlode, and I've talked about The Motherlode a lot in our different videos on the channel, so please check that book out. You can see the link in our description to use our affiliate link to get it on Amazon, get it straight. But there's just a quote here in her chapter about the rapper Debrat, and she says, "Sex made for good business. Women still had limited options when it came to how they looked, even when they were following the blueprint. Male taste so heavily defined the concept of image in that era," so that's the 90s, "that for women, simply deciding what to wear was do or die." Now, I thought this was an interesting quote because it really speaks to a lot of what both Kim, Nicki, and Rhapsody also said. This whole idea that what they dress like is going to have something to do with how people are going to receive them as rappers. And this issue on how female rap became to be, the commercial side of it at least, was overwhelmingly represented by hypersexualized rap, was a contrast to, you know, rappers like Debrat, who I believe was the first female rapper to sell 1 million album units. You know, she did that with an androgynous style that was kind of masculine. She still managed that commercial acclaim. And what I find interesting about what Clover Hope acknowledges in her book is that this was an ironic change, because she changed to sell sex more, but she was already selling without sex. And I wonder whether this issue of whether or not women in hip hop can be respected as rappers while still being sexual has ever disappeared. I think that it's still an ever-present topic, and it remains referenced in lyrics by different female MCs. So just taking some recent lyrics from Tierra Whack on Stand Up, she says, "I really only smile just to show my grill, rather have the skill than the sex appeal." So that's very directly Tierra Whack saying, look, I'd rather be a skilled rapper than have sex appeal. So already we're seeing that you know, in the current era of female rappers, they are rejecting sexuality or presenting themselves sexually, and there is this, you know, perceived juxtaposition between presenting yourself sexually and having rap skill. And in a similar vein, the female rapper Shane Noir says on Divine Knowledge, I ain't no rookie rap chick or on no pussy rap shit. Niggas told me take that lane like Shay, you could be that rich. And that's, again, her directly acknowledging that I could be selling sex and I could be very commercially successful, but I'm on real rap energy. There's another line she has in Bless the Food where she says, they tell me, Shay, fix your appearance and shop for dresses. Biggie lyrics, but in the mirror, it's Park's reflection. And I found that very interesting because it's almost as if she's saying, they tell me go shop for dresses and, you know, be more feminine. But when I look in the mirror, I'm hearing Biggie and I'm seeing Park. And it's just, again, very interesting. She, in order to access that imagery of herself as Tupac and Biggie, she also has to reject buying dresses and being feminine. And that juxtaposition, you know, it is in part because of the fact that hip hop has shamed women who speak sexually. And the overwhelming irony of this is that a lot of men in hip hop are speaking sexually themselves. And I wanted to talk about that further, but before we do, I just wanted to reference a bar here from Rhapsody. She says, some sisters, and this is on Clio, some sisters in the industry, y'all know y'all was fronting, dressed too tomboy, rap too lyrical. So again, Rhapsody is acknowledging, you know, like, I know that I wasn't getting the same access and accolades in the game because I was presenting myself in this masculine tomboy image and my rap was too lyrical. So again, it's that juxtaposition. Be presenting yourself in a, you know, more masculine or androgynous, genderless way, you are a lyrical rapper. But if you start rapping about sexuality, start rapping about, you know, sex, you're no longer a lyrical rapper. And so I want to talk more about that and essentially break down, looking at all of this conversation around whether or not hip hop can take sexual female rap seriously, and just get to the bottom really of why this is and what women should do about it. So stick around and let's talk about the next part. So the obvious irony in all of this conversation around whether women who rap sexually have respect within the culture is the fact that men may well control rap and hip hop culture, or may be said to control rap and hip hop culture, but women still want their own space within it and they want their own voices. Hip hop culture has been dominated by men since its inception. And although many women have been influential within the culture and the development of the culture, the face of hip hop culture is still a man. And you can see that if you Google hip hop and search images, all of those images are primarily going to be men, and the only two women that you're going to see is one small picture of Missy Elliott in a compilation of other male rappers, and one or two pictures of Lauryn Hill. So what is popular hip hop culture does center men in some way, and it's either because it's content by and for men, or because it's content presented by women but created by and for men. And that's where we feed into the whole ghostwriting conversation, where a lot of female rappers are having men write their lyrics, you know, which is a whole other conversation which you can check out on our channel. It is called No Ghostwriter for a reason. However, despite this, women still want content, voices, and lyrics that represent them, and the female rap culture is strong. And some would argue that it's stronger than ever before. I mean, the growth of No Ghostwriter is an excellent testament to that. And I would also say the fact that Nicki Minaj's re-release of her 12-year-old mixtape Beam Me Up Scotty last year outsold, you know, new female rap projects and was only 20-30 or something or so, 20-30K behind Doja Cat with the release of Planet Her is not something to be scoffed at. You know, this is really a time where this culture is very rich and strong. So If women want to talk about sexual themes, why is that a problem? And most importantly, why are women who rap this way discredited for their lyrical abilities? So another point to talk about here is because of the attitudes towards selling sex by women in rap and hip hop culture, women in hip hop are pushed to choose one lane. So the sexual rap lane is looked down upon, and it's sometimes disparaged by women who took the so-called lyrical lane. And we saw that in those lyrical references that we looked at earlier. Now, this can be very ironic in some ways, because the misogynistic attitudes that shame women for being sexual can also lead women into shaming other women, which is inherently counterproductive. And that's something that Rhapsody addressed herself directly in a Genius interview, in relation to the fact that a lot of people will bring up Nicki Minaj and say, you know, Nicki Minaj is no Rhapsody. And Rhapsody's point is that you can uplift another woman in hip hop without shaming another one. So to uplift Rhapsody, you don't need to disrespect Nicki Minaj. And shout out to Rhapsody for saying that, because that's really at the core of why this is such a problematic issue. So sex sells in hip hop, and if women don't make as much money without being sexual, why should they be blamed for wanting to capitalize upon an industry that was always there? The male gaze makes money, and women who rap about sexual themes shouldn't be blamed for that which they cannot control. Now, this means that women who don't sell sex are in a rather odd predicament. You are treated as and used as a reference for a serious lyrical rapper like Rhapsody, like Tierra Whack, but that's conditional upon you only rapping about what is deemed acceptable. That doesn't seem to me to be very liberating, especially when men in hip hop are free to rap about whatever and whoever they want and still be widely commercially successful. You know, we allow such significant leeway. You know, Kendrick Lamar can rap about the yams 1 minute, and then we also allow him to rap about black emancipation and freedom the next. The reason being that we allow men in hip hop to have free reign over what they talk about. But for women, if they own the same sexuality that rap and hip hop culture glamorizes and glorifies by rapping about it themselves, they are automatically discredited from the serious rapper conversation. And I think that is unfair and very ironic. So where does that leave women in hip hop now? In the aftermath from Lil Kim's Hardcore to Nicki Minaj's iconic Anaconda and Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's smash hit WAP, women are still rapping sexually, and they're making more money from it than they've ever made before. But the divide is still there over whether these women who do push the envelope and rap about provocative topics can really be considered serious rappers. So it took Kim dropping Hardcore in '97. 2 decades later, Nicki Minaj releases Anaconda, and she ushers in an entire new generation of women with not only sexually explicit lyrics, but extremely sexual and borderline pornographic music videos and content. So these videos, with great viewing records on YouTube, and influence and inspire an entire stripper BBL aesthetic all over social media and also within fast fashion. So the commercial benefit of being sexual as a woman in hip hop has remained consistently lucrative. And that means, for whatever is said, this music is streamed and bought by millions of people worldwide. You know, this might explain why during her come up, Megan Thee Stallion once rapped, "I'm a rapper, not no motherfucking model." And then she's now turned around and she's a Coach ambassador, and she had Fashion Nova collections. You know, this is an interesting change. It shows that commercially lucrative opportunities that one can get through presenting oneself sexually, you know, are attractive. And rappers who may not have gotten into it to sell that way, or not that they didn't get into sell that way, but maybe that they never thought that image would prioritize over bars, find themselves in this interesting predicament where they can stay lyrical and make less money, or they can show skin and make all the money possible. So why should women not make as much money as possible from their rap careers, especially when the support for them, if they do push more lyrical, quote unquote, lyrical content, is not as strong than if they embrace more provocative rap voice and videos? And I want to link here to the video on our channel on why female rappers don't make deep or complex rap songs, and also our playlist that accompanies that video on Spotify called Listen When I'm Speaking, and we regularly update that with powerful bar for bar verses and songs by female rappers to prove that yes, women are very capable of being lyrical rappers and still rapping sexually and having fun on the track. So in conclusion, what should women in hip hop do to gain respect within the culture? And is it wrong to say that women who rap about sexual topics can't be lyrical? I think that it is wrong to say that. I think at the end of the day, women in hip hop have an interesting choice to make, and it's a difficult one. Who do you please? Do you please the people in the culture who, you know, may not look like you, in the sense that they may not be, you know, women, they may not even be black, and they have a lot of control over what is popping in the culture? And if they have set the agenda in a particular way, women don't have the same support and infrastructure that men do. You know, one can only imagine if Nicki Minaj, all the talent she had, but if Fendi, her original, her first manager, Big Fendi, if he hadn't wanted to market her as Nicki Minaj, he gave her the name Minaj because she eat these rap bitches with a nasty flow. He wanted to package her that way. She didn't want to package herself that way. But was Fendi wrong? Was that in part of why she rose to the level she did? Check out our videos on our channel where we discuss these topics in far more depth. Like I mentioned, we've got our video on why female rappers don't make deep or lyrical songs. And we've also got our video on whether men in hip hop are going to always control women. Check those videos out. We get into more of those questions, but I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, and comment. Tell us, what do you think about this conversation? Do you think hip hop can take sexual female rap seriously? Do you think hip hop should take sexual female rap seriously? And do you think it's fair for women in hip hop to essentially say that they're an excellent lyricist, but say that in contrast to women who are rapping about sexual and sexually explicit content and lyrics? Click the link in the description for all of our links to our Patreon, our live events, our mailing list, and our radio. And make sure that you follow us on Twitter and Instagram, that's no_ghostwriter, and TikTok, that's no ghostwriter. I've been your host, Blessing Makosha. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Deuces.